Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited that you guys are joining me here today. I am so grateful too for my 28 new subscribers. I am so grateful for each and every one of you guys. And 100 views. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is really happening. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I've been under the weather for the last couple of days. Well, I'm gonna say a week. This pollen in Georgia is disturbing my entire plan for the week, but I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm here again today to record a video for you guys, and the video today is going to be about starting to build in Liberia, West Africa. When I started first, it was many years ago. I want to say about five or 6 years ago. I wanted to build in Liberia, and I know at that time my grandmother was having her project going on. She was encouraging me to build, and I was like, I'm gonna try to wait and see, give it time, maybe grow up a little bit more. And about 2 years ago, I was really motivated after my grandmother passed away. We went to Liberia, and I was like, well, it's time for me to take this building thing serious and put something down for me to be able to go to and call my home and my husband and my children, just to have that security in the country that I know that I'm originally from. So we decided to go ahead and build a 2-bedroom. We started off 2-bedroom. Long story. I'm going to explain that later. But it's way above 2-bedroom right now. I'm grateful to God for that, but it's a long story. So let's start with the purchasing your land in Liberia. First, we went ahead and purchased our land in Liberia. Before we purchased the land, we had to ask around who have lands. And if you're Liberian, you know how going about to purchase land works. You have to know somebody who's selling their land, and then choose your location. Figure out where you want to buy your land. If it's the city, choose your location wisely and make sure that location will be able to represent what you're going to put there. So we decided we wanted a home where we could take our children and where we could have peace when we're in Liberia, when we're done with the hustle and bustle in Monrovia. So we went ahead and asked around in that area to see who had land for sale. And we found a couple of people, but one person stood up. And so when we decided we're going to go with that person, we did the research, asked them for their documents. Their documents is the original mother deed. And asked around in the community, people who have land around there, who they bought their land from, and just verify that the person is the rightful owner of the land. So after we verified that the person was the rightful owner of the land in the community, we took it to the ACA. In some African countries, I know they go to like they go to an agency to verify if that person is the owner of the land. But in Liberia, we went to the ACA and make sure that he was the rightful owner of the land. His family was the rightful owner of the land, and they have been paying taxes on the land for many years, just to verify that you're not going to start building or get into some kind of a crazy problem later on down the line. And once we figure out that he was the rightful owner of the land, we knew going into finding out if he was the rightful owner of the land, how much of the land that we wanted to purchase from him, because we wanted to build a home, like I said earlier. So after we did that, we went and surveyed the land. Make sure you survey the land. When they did the surveying of the land, the surveying is like where they kind of mark where your land starts and where it ends, and they have witnesses there. And when we did the surveying of the land, one thing that I would strongly advise, the day that you're doing the surveying of the land and you have pretty much made up your mind that, okay, I'm gonna purchase this land, this is what I want, this is what I'm gonna do. The day that you're doing the surveying of the land, make sure you have your cornerstone. We call it cornerstone in Liberia. I don't know how they call it in other African countries or where you may be building, but we call it cornerstone. you can buy it from the side of the road or you can get it made. It's not as expensive to get it made. So that way when they draw the diagram of your land, you can just go ahead and place the cornerstone there. So it kind of saves you a lot of problems in the future where you wouldn't have to go back to the person you purchased the land from and say, hey, where does my land start or where does it end? So the cornerstone is kind of like you protecting your land, literally documenting your land with something that somebody can see. And when you get the cornerstone, you put your initials. Some people put their first name, their first initial, and then their last name on the cornerstone. But make sure you have your cornerstone there the day that you're purchasing the land, that they're surveying the land. When they show you where your land is, make sure you have your cornerstone there. I can't stress on it enough. I mean, you have to have that so you don't get in trouble later. So after you purchase your land, you go ahead and register your deed, because when you purchase the land, they give you the plain deed, which is just a transfer deed into your name from the original mother deed. Then you go ahead and you register your deed, you probate your deed, you start paying taxes on your land deed. And then when you're done doing that and you decide when you're ready to build, some people are ready to build right away when they purchase the land. But if you decide that you're ready to build maybe a month later or 2 months later, after you have gotten all your documents together, going through everything and making sure it's clear, the land is legit, the land is for you, then you contact an architect to draw down what you want to build. And when you contact the architect, be very, very specific on what you want to build, because for me, I was like, I'm going to start with so and so. And then down the line, I was like, oh, can I add on to this? Can I add on to that? Just be very specific of what you want, because they're drawing it out. And once they draw it out, they the next step is for you to go and get an engineer, take the drawing, the diagram, or the rough copy of the building, the project that you want to do. Take it to the engineer, ask them, show it to them, detail by detail. Are you able to build this for me? And if they say yes, the next step is to look at their previous work that they have done. Look around, ask questions around, let them show you pictures. Actually go onto the site or send somebody onto the site and see their work. Make sure that they are really good at what they do and that they are capable of giving you what you want on that piece of paper at the time. Because you're going to be spending a lot of money. So you want to do your research very well. And after you verify with the community, the people that he have worked for or she have worked for, you are okay with everything, then you go ahead and talk on how much they're going to be charging. You discuss on how much they're going to be charging, come to one conclusion. Liberia would like to bargain and try to get it to come down a little bit. But sometimes when you really want something, you're just going to have to pay that price for it if it's good. So after you do that, then you go ahead and he will tell you what you need to do. Then to start the digging of the foundation. Once they start the digging of the foundation, they draw out a petition, and then they draw out they just basically dig in the circle of everything that you have on the paper, all the little petition in the middle, on the side, the bathroom, the toilet, the pantry. They just kind of dig it all out. And once they dig it out, you kind of see how it's going to be cut, how the hallway is going to be. It's just giving you like a rough draft of what your project is going to look like. And then if you don't like that space, then when they dig it, it's the only time that you can make changes. So this is so important. This is one of the most important part. When they dig those petition in and you don't like it, before they pour the concrete into the ground to tie the foundation, it's important to see it and decide if you like it or not. Like I'm saying, you have to be on ground. or you have to have somebody that you trust and that have that vision that you want to put onto this property, to be on that land, to make sure that's what you want. So once they do that, then they go ahead and pour the concrete into it and tie the foundation. And the next step after they tie the foundation is carrying the walls up. So they carry the wall up to window level, and then after window level, they carry it up to lintel level, which is the very top. And pretty much from there on, you're just going to be doing bricks, cement, and steel. Lots of steel, lots of bricks, and lots of cement. And after you do that, will be the next thing on the list will be time for roofing. After the tie the lintel level, the tie the whole house around, it'll be time for roofing. But before we get to roofing, I'm gonna put in some pictures so you kind of get an idea of how it works when it comes to building, like how the process, because sometimes we sit and we talk to you, we let you know how things goes and how things work, but you don't really get the idea until you kind of see it and you're like, oh, that's what Lavelle was talking about. So I'm gonna put in, after I'm done explaining this to you, which I'm almost done. I know I've been natty for a little bit, but which I'm almost done. And you get to see the process, you get to see pictures, clips of videos of the process, and you just kind of get to have an idea of what exactly I'm talking about. And the next video will be about roofing your house. That would be our next video. But I will kind of give you a pretty good idea of what you're gonna see when you decide to build, and from the beginning to the middle. So once again, I am so grateful to you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for being back and watching my video. And I love each and every one of you guys for supporting me. Have a blessed day and see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.